I'm not even really gonna be looking at the camera because I want to focus on the road. Well, I can't look you in the eyes. Y'all, what am I gonna talk about today? Guess. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna talk about Molluscum Contagiosum. Throughout the video, you're gonna hear me say Molluscum Contagiosum, but it's Molluscum Contagiosum. Molluscum Contagiosum. And I know a lot of people don't even know what that is, honestly. I didn't even know what it was until I got it, literally. So let's talk about it. It's more common than you think. First of all, I got it because I contracted chlamydia. And through chlamydia, I guess whoever gave me chlamydia had molluscum, but they were more immune to it. Like, I have very sensitive skin. At the time, I had a very weak immune system as well. Why I'm having sex raw at that, who knows? But yeah, and my immune system was compromised, so I got both. Now, Molluscum Contagiosum, you can contract it through a sexually transmitted disease or infection, or you can contract it through kids. So kids can get it at daycare or school, anywhere that other kids are and their surfaces or toys, kids can get it. You know, kids touch anything, they play with anything, it'll fall on the floor, they'll pick it up and put it in their mouth. So they catch things and get germs way easier than adults. I mean, adults still do, but children usually have it because they just touch everything. You know, they don't think if it falls on the floor it needs to be sanitized or cleaned. They just play. So that's how they get it. Usually children are the ones that get molluscum. I'm so grateful it was only molluscum, because what it was is it was a rash. It was like small bumps close together. They looked like they had pus in it, but I couldn't pop it. So I'm like, hey, HIV. No, but it wasn't. To God be the glory. I'm so grateful. Like, he could have let me get AIDS, HIV, but I promise you, I learned my lesson. It's been 1 year of celibacy and like 8 months of abstinence, or maybe a little less than that, maybe like 6 months of abstinence. But yeah, I felt like I could talk about it because it was so hard for me to figure out what it was. Like, I'm like, what is this? And I'm also going to tell you how I cured it. First it was a little rash in the back of my foot, and it wasn't itchy. Like, for some people it's itchy, but for me it wasn't itchy. And I also had eczema, very bad. When I would scratch my eczema, sometimes when I'd scratch the eczema, because it's not mine, I would sometimes end up scratching 1 mile. The molluscum. I would end up scratching the molluscum sometimes, and then it would pop because I'd cut it open. Not like because it was easy to pop, but because the friction. And then they'd spread. It went from the back of my leg to my whole entire back. It was just in a little area. Then it was all on the back. Then it started coming on the front of my legs. Then I was like, oh. So I went to the dermatologist because I just wanted to know what it was. And I do want to tell anybody that's watching this, if you decide to go to the dermatologist just so you can find out what the problem is, emphasize when you first go, I don't want treatment. I only want to know what it is. That way you can go home and do your own research. And if you're like me, I like to be holistic about it. But at that time, I was so desperate. I didn't know what it was. And I was just so nervous. I was looking it up on Google. A couple things will come up, but it wasn't like, this is not exactly what I'm experiencing. So I went to the dermatologist and they told me this is Molluscum Contagiosum, which is what I saw on Google. And he gave me like these drops. He put them on my skin. They're supposed to make okay, so molluscum is like a bubble, right? And it has the virus inside of the bubble, and it usually has a little dot in the middle. So basically, I believe, like, y'all, I'm gonna do more research, but I just want to get this out because, like, it's just bubbling. So he put these little droplets, and it's supposed to make the bubble burst, like swell, make the skin softer, and then it bursts, I guess. And then whatever is on the drop is supposed to kill the virus. But all it did was like tear my skin up. Literally, all it did was tear my skin up. In fact, it's like the molluscum was so stubborn. It did boil and it did pop, but it came right back. So I went back because they said they wanted to see me back. And mind you, I hated it because he didn't really talk to me. He was like, okay, this is what it is, and this is what we're gonna do. And I was just so anxious about it because I'm like, is it AIDS? Is it AIDS, Lord? Is it AIDS? Is it HIV? That's literally how I was. I was so stressed out. So I was really desperate for anything. I'm like, I don't know what to take or what to eat or what to put on this. I went back maybe like 3 weeks later because they wanted to see how it would look. And it looks like he had never genuinely experienced or worked with somebody who had molluscum before, because he was just trying stuff out. And I came back and it had doubled. Like, it was in more places than it was the last time I went. He was like, oh no, that's not molluscum, that's just eczema. And I know he was lying to me because, like, I know the difference between what this is and what eczema is. After the snow, I went back the second time. He gave like this, it's supposed to freeze it. Like, it's supposed to, they spray it. It's like dry nitrate, something like that. And they spray it on your skin and it's supposed to like dry freeze it or something like that. He did that and it just burned me again. I was like, I'm never coming back here. Like, you don't even care, bruh. Like, you don't even care. You don't really want to like help me out. You haven't asked me about my diet, what happened to me, how did I get here. You just telling me this is what we're gonna do, and it didn't give like, okay, I'm really concerned about you. So I never went back. And I, like, with eczema, I learned sometimes you gotta let things take its course, because your body is genuine. Our bodies are healing all the time. It's always trying to heal. So when you just let it take its course and you stop doing certain things, it will eventually get better. You can't rush it. Like, I really tried to rush it, and for how severe mine was, I couldn't rush it. I had to just take my time and let it go. So I tried to do that with molluscum, but I started to do research because I got to a point where I was like, I don't want this on my skin. I don't want this in my body. Like, I'm trying to get rid of it. So I did a bunch of research, and I was at a place where I was willing to try anything. Like, I was like, I'm gonna, whatever they say on the internet that works, I'm gonna try it. And I came across a couple videos that were pretty consistent, and it said to use tea tree oil and to use retinol. And I was like, okay. I went to the store the next day. I bought tea tree oil and I bought retinol, and I mixed them together and I applied it to my skin every night. Don't shoot, because I know I said holistic and I'm talking about a chemical, but please y'all, please, I was desperate, but it worked. So, and that's the thing about it too, you have to be consistent, because our bodies build up like a resistance to things when we do it for a while. So it may work for the first 2 days, and then you stop for like 3 days. By the 5th day that you try to put that back on, your skin is gonna be like, not gonna work, buddy. So you really have to be consistent, and that's probably the hardest part about having a skin condition, is like, you have to be on top of it every day. You can't get lazy. My phone overheated, y'all, but yeah, you can't give up on yourself. And I'll say, like, it went away. I don't have it anymore. Like, from that day, it literally started to dry up, like, completely, and I don't have it anymore. So I can say it works. It worked for me. So if you or your children or your child, y'all get these little fine bumps, you don't know what it is, and if you really look at it, it got a little dot in the middle, it's molluscum, and you can use tea tree oil and you can use retinol to get rid of it. Another tip, stop having sex with people, because you can't trust them. They're gonna tell you they ain't had sex with nobody in a long time, and you might tell them the truth, but they gonna lie to you. Unfortunately, you can't give your body away. You know, I had to learn the hard way. My dad taught me a lesson. He let me get it. He let me get the clock. And I learned my lesson, but trust me, it was about time too. So yeah, love you.